Hey guys and gals, I am that 80s nostalgic toy guy, and today on the collector's table I have my laptop, so it's another That 80s Top 8 list. Today we'll be going over my top 8 pre-orders for the fourth quarter of 2022. Now these pre-orders are my personal favorite pre-orders for the fourth quarter of 2022. These are orders that I put in most likely late last year to early this year that are just about to be shipped. And they will end up on a future unboxing video on my collector's table. So without further ado, let's dig in to That 80s Top 8 fourth quarter pre-orders for the year 2022. Hey there guys and gals, welcome back to the collector's table.
Welcome back.
We are getting closer and closer to October every day, and that starts the fourth quarter of 2022, and I can't wait to get these awesome collectibles on my doorstep and in my collector's room. It's another That 80s Top 8 list, and this time it is the fourth quarter pre-orders for the year 2022. I'm excited. Let's start out with my bonus pre-orders. I've got a couple bonus pre-orders coming in from NECA by the end of October, early November. And that is these two awesome figures right here. That's Bon Scott, the original lead singer of AC/DC, and Angus Young, one of the founding members of AC/DC. These figures right here are coming to us from NECA. These things are exciting to me. I grew up as a huge AC/DC fan. I still love AC/DC to this day with Brian Johnson after the tragic passing of Bon Scott. So it's been a long time coming to get a really cool, awesome AC/DC Bon Scott Angus Young figure on my collector's table and in my music collection. Not only my music collection, but I have a huge AC/DC collection. It's really cool. I love the band. I'm so excited that NECA has stepped away from the cartoon and TV show and movie characters to give us some music characters. I really love that. So that's my first bonus pre-order. Now on to my next bonus pre-order. This pre-order comes to us straight from NECA again. NECA, you're really hitting it out of the ballpark for 2022, and specifically the fourth quarter of 2022. So what exactly is my next bonus pre-order for the fourth quarter of 2022 by NECA? We're going back 40 years with E.T. NECA, in celebration of the 40th anniversary of one of our favorite childhood and teen years films, are bringing us 5 of these awesome smaller scale NECA figures from E.T., featuring Elliot and E.T. in some of our favorite scenes from that awesome 1982 film. These figures are awesome and totally nostalgic for me. I absolutely loved E.T. when I was a kid. It came out when I was a wee little one, and I love watching it. And I cannot wait for these bad boys to end up on my doorstep sometime in late October to early November. Get them on my collector's table, and as soon as they get here, we're going to start going over those suckers because they are going to be awesome. I get nostalgic every time I look at one of my collectibles, and I love sharing that with you. So these E.T. figures by NECA are just totally nostalgic. They hit my eye when they came out on pre-order, and I got every single one of them on pre-order, and I can't wait to go over those for the channel. All right, those were my bonus pre-orders for the fourth quarter of 2022. Let's get down to my top 8 list. Those were a total of 7 awesome figures, and they are totally awesome. And if those are my bonus figures, man, what's in my top 8? We're about to find out. All right, nostalgic guys and gals, unless you've been hiding underneath a rock, you would know that there was a new film that came out this summer, Top Gun Maverick. We've been waiting for over 35 years for this sequel. The sequel we didn't know that we needed, but all of us wanted. Now, at number 8, I saw it only fitting to squeeze this figure into my top 8 list for pre-orders of 2022, the fourth quarter. This figure is produced by one of my growing favorite toys to collect right now. That's Redmond Toys. Redmond Toys is giving us a 1/6 scale figure of Tom Cruise as Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell from 1986 Top Gun. I am excited about this figure. We watched Maverick over the summer in theaters, and it was absolutely amazing, absolutely nostalgic, and just a totally awesome film. And I cannot wait to get this number 8 figure on my collector's table to go over for you and to get them into my Top Gun collection. Yes, that's right. I've got a lot of figures in my Top Gun collection, old and new, and I can't wait to add this Tom Cruise, which Redmond Toys is calling Top Tom. This figure is going to be amazing. I can't wait to go over it. Top Tom from Redmond Toys, a 1/6 scale rendition, is my number 8 pre-order figure on this That 80s Top 8 list. Now moving on to number 7. You know I can't have a That 80s Top 8 pre-order list without a Hot Toys figure being in there. Hot Toys is one of my favorite toys to collect. So a Top 8 list void of Hot Toys would not be a list by me. So coming in at number 7, it is Hot Toys 1/6 scale rendition, long-awaited rendition of Cyborg from 2017's Zack Snyder's Justice League. I myself thought that Ray Fisher played an amazing Cyborg. I cannot wait to get this awesome figure on my collector's table and go over him for the channel. I have been waiting for a while for a figure like this to come along, and I cannot wait to get him unboxed for the channel. I'm a huge DC fan, I'm a huge Batman fan, I'm a huge Justice League fan. So that film I watch fairly regularly in my action adventure film rotation, and I cannot wait to add this Cyborg figure from 2017's Justice League to my ever-growing Justice League, Batman, DC Comics figure collection. We're getting closer and closer to that number 1 spot, but here we go. We got to get number 6 off the board. And coming in at number 6, it's another 1/6 scale figure, this time by Sideshow Collectibles. It's one of my favorite 1990s films. That's The Crow from 1994. Eric Draven is one of my favorite comic book fantasy characters of all time, and I love The Crow film featuring Brandon Lee in his last full-length feature film. I have got a very extensive The Crow action figure and collectible collection spanning nearly 3 decades now. And this Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale figure is going to look awesome in that collection. I cannot wait to get it on the collector's table. It's going to be hard to pass up unboxing him for something else when he arrives on my doorstep. That's my number 6 figure. Now it's time to move on to number 5. It's getting exciting. These figures are so awesome. We're almost halfway through here. Before we do get halfway through, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Go ahead and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any future That 80s Top 8 lists or just any of my unboxings and videos in general. I appreciate every single one of you for doing everything you do to make my channel the success that it is. Now back to my number 5 item on That 80s Top 8. This figure at our number 5 slot comes in from a toy creator, collectible creator that I have many of their pieces in my collection, but I really haven't gone over them before on the collector's table. That's the awesome toy creators over there at Trick or Treat Studios. They are awesome. They are amazing. They make more than just figures and collectibles. They make a lot of scary, awesome Halloween stuff and just crazy, awesome horror stuff, plus replicas and everything else your little horror heart desires. Go ahead and treat yourself to something by Trick or Treat Studios. See what I did there? This stuff is fun. Trick or Treat Studios is awesome. This list is amazing. You guys are amazing. Let's get to number 5. That's right. It's Trick or Treat Studios' 1/6 scale rendition of Tarman from one of my favorite childhood horror films. That's The Return of the Living Dead, 1985. You guys have got to remember that awesome scene in the basement when Tarman comes up out of that bucket of tar. Awesome. Brains, brains, brains. That's all they want is brains, and that's all Tarman wanted. And he's got my brains thinking about this 1/6 scale figure arriving here in late 2022 on my collector's table so I can unbox for you, for me, and for my awesome horror collection. This Tarman figure is awesome at number 5, but number 4 has got me really excited. Let's move on to our number 4 slot. We are starting to get down to the real nitty-gritty right now. We're in the top 4 of my That 80s Top 8. So we're getting into some of my favorite movies, my favorite TV shows, my favorite cartoons, and some of my favorite action figure collectible toy lines to collect. You're going to be surprised that my number 4 item is not number 1. And this figure comes from Super7. Super7 is hitting it out of the ballpark with these Ultimates figure lines. And now at the number 4 slot, on That 80s Top 8 pre-orders for 2022 fourth quarter, it's Super7 Ultimates Wave 1 G.I. Joe. I put these Ultimates figures, Wave 1, on pre-order last year, and they're almost here. They're almost here. I've been checking the updates every week, and they're almost here. They could arrive as soon as October, but November by latest. I'm excited to get these 4 figures on my collector's table and go over each and every one of them. And what amazing figures we get in these first 4 figures to start off the Super 7 Ultimates figure line for G.I. Joe. We get Duke, we get Cobra Bat, we get Cobra Commander, and we get my all-time favorite, Snake Eyes. I cannot wait to get these 4 figures on my collector's table. They'll be here any week now. I cannot wait. Now moving on to number 3. Alright guys, I'm excited about this number 3 spot, and it's another Super 7 Ultimates figure line. Now, we all have individual favorites of cartoons we liked when we were kids. And one of my favorite cartoons is Silverhawks. I absolutely loved it. I had all the figures back then, and I still have them today, and they're all going to be on the channel. But today, at my number 3 spot, we're going over Super 7 Ultimates Wave 1 Silverhawks. We first saw Silverhawks as a cartoon in comics in 86 and 87, and I have been waiting for 35 years patiently to get a Silverhawks collectible worthy of my collector's table. And these figures absolutely are, and I can't wait to get these Super 7 Ultimates Silverhawks Wave 1 figures on my collector's table to unbox. And Super 7 is giving us an awesome set for that first 4 figures. Alright guys and gals, we're going to start out with my favorite good guy, and that's Steelheart. Then another one of my favorites, Quicksilver. And then you got to have some bad guys, because every cartoon had good guys and bad guys, and Silverhawks was no different. So we get 2 of my favorite bad guys to start out this Wave 1 figure set. We get Buzzsaw, and we get the awesome Monstar. Now, not only am I going to be going over these awesome Silverhawks figures from Super 7, but I have all of the classic figures. I have all of the play sets, and I have all of the vehicles. So if you're a Silverhawks fan like me, you're going to want to hit that notification bell, because those are going to be fun to go over. And we're going to start going over those really, really soon. Guys and gals, we're at our top 2. And at the number 2 spot is just an amazing figure. And it's of and by one of my favorite 80s action movie heroes. That's right. Sylvester Stallone started his own shop, and they have begun to create their own 1/6 scale figures. And to start out their 1/6 scale figure line, they have come out with a John Rambo figure. That's right, this John Rambo 1/6 scale figure is endorsed by and helped created by Sly Stallone himself. His website is slystalloneshop.com. I've got multiple figures and multiple collectibles and their clothing line. A lot of stuff from the movies that Sylvester Stallone was in. There's a lot of stuff you can buy. It's at the slystalloneshop.com. This figure right here is only one of the 1/6 scale figures that I have on pre-order. Now, the second one's not going to come out till middle to late next year, which you know that's going to be in a future That 80s Top 8 pre-order list. But today, at number 2, it's this 1/6 scale figure of John Rambo from Rambo First Blood, the very first film back in 1982. We've been waiting 40 years for awesome figures to come out of John Rambo. And this year and last year and the year before, we've been getting some great ones from 3-0, from Hot Toys, from Sideshow Collectibles, from all these ancillary smaller toy figure creators. But this one right here is the only one endorsed by Sylvester Stallone himself. And it looks to be amazing, and I can't wait to get this 1/6 scale figure of Sylvester Stallone as John Rambo for one of my favorite action movies on my collector's table, unboxed for you and for my awesome Sylvester Stallone collection. This number 2 figure is really hitting me hard, but it couldn't overtake my excitement and joy for number 1. Now, let's move on to that number 1 spot on That 80s Top 8 list for top 8 pre-orders for the 4th quarter of 2022. Thunder! 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 ThunderCats! Ho! That's right, at number 1 on That 80s Top 8 pre-orders for the 4th quarter of 2022, it's ThunderCats, and it's the big, huge Super 7 Ultimates Thunder Tank. Can you feel my excitement for this figure? I'm so excited to get this Thunder Tank. I put this thing on pre-order late last year, and it's almost at my doorstep. It's had a couple of delays in production, but it is set to be on my collector's table by the end of November. I was a ThunderCats kid. I absolutely loved the ThunderCats. I have every single wave of the ThunderCats, all the special figures of the ThunderCats Super 7 Ultimates figures. I've got them all on pre-order, and I've got a lot of them already that I've unboxed for the channel and that we're going to go over for the channel. And I can't wait to get those unboxed. But we're talking about this #1 huge super scale mega figure, this Thunder Tank by Super 7 in their Ultimates toy line. It's absolutely amazing. It's going to be awesome. I don't know if I have enough room on my collector's table to even go over it because this thing is 27 inches long and it's 17 inches wide. Holy smokes, this thing's going to be huge. I can't wait to get this sucker on my collector's table. This thing right here actually has all the awesome opening and closing effects and all the firing effects and weapon effects. The wheels, everything from our classic Thunder Tank figure that we all have when we were kids, and that if you're like me, still have in your collection. I love the Thunder Tank. It is one of my favorite vehicles from one of my favorite cartoons when I was a kid. And it's one of my favorite vehicles, really, of all of my toy lines that I collect. I love the Masters of the Universe vehicles. I love the Ecto-1. I love all my G.I. Joe vehicles, all the vintage classic ones. But man, I love that Thunder Tank, and I cannot wait to get this Thunder Tank on my collector's table, get him unboxed, and get it in my collection. All these items right here made up my top 8, that 80s top 8 pre-orders list, and the bonus list. All these figures, every single one of them. But I have a ton more coming, and I can't wait to get them all unboxed. I can't wait to get these top 8 plus bonus figures on my doorstep and unboxed for the channel. I appreciate every single one of you. I am that 80s Nostalgic Toy Guy. This has been that 80s top 8 fourth quarter pre-orders for the year 2022. I look forward to getting back to the collector's table real soon to unbox something awesome, something cool, something old, or something new. On behalf of all my collectibles, we look forward to seeing you again at the collector's table real soon. Now that was fun, wasn't it? Now go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the fun on the channel. We'll see you again real soon.